Shoo-ba-ba-ba-up, yeah. Let's go on it together. Let's go on in adventure. Ba-ba, shoo-ba-ba-ba-up, yeah. Let's go on it forever. If you're feeling blue, nothing left to do, my love. And if you're feeling bored, I know you know the cure. You know the cure. Let's go on an adventure, bop, bop, shoot, bop, 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 yeah. Let's go on it forever. Let's go on an adventure, bop, bop, shoot, bop, 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 yeah. Let's go on it together. Let's go on an adventure.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Musical Chairs of Massachusetts. We are coming at you, as always, from the Chair City of Gardner, Mass. And today, our show is a little different for a couple different reasons. One, where's Chris? Chris. You're not Chris?
I'm not Chris.
No, this is friend of the show,
Hello,
Seth Newton.
Here to fill some gigantic shoes. But
Is that an insult?
no, is it? Well, they're not clown shoes.
Oh, that's true.
They're metaphorically gigantic shoes where Chris is the amazing person you've all come to love and know. And I'm here, an imposter.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
He is not an
I've been a
imposter.
guest a couple times now in different ways.
In different ways, yeah.
And here I am helping out, just covering some space and bringing some new light, hopefully, to the episode.
Yeah, and you are a light in general, Seth. Yeah, like he mentioned, it was almost a year ago we had him here in studio recording with us, and then he surprised me for my birthday a couple of months ago. And
What a wild ride!
and now it's like full circle. Now you went from sitting in the hot seat to hosting the damn thing.
Yeah,
Look
to
at you.
to grilling the heck out of our good friend Smooth Wrld. What a nice guy.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Oh,
He's a gem.
solid dude. You're in for a real treat.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah. This we could have talked for hours with him. Honestly, he's just
For
such a
sure.
gem of a human and so down to earth. And yeah, I don't want to waste any time. Let's get into this, Chris.
Yeah.
We miss you. We wish you could have been here for this.
Love you, Chris. You missed out, buddy.
Oh yeah, yeah. You totally missed out. You snooze, you lose, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Today we're joined by Sam, aka Smooth Wrld, an animated suburban rap artist hailing from Pepperell, Mass, who knows how to captivate a crowd creatively and charismatically with wit and a smooth style. When he isn't creating new music and collabing with other local artists, you can find him at the Homie Collective Festival and other local shows. When he's not performing, you can catch him riding his motorcycle and hanging with his girlfriend and his son, and also his dog Jarvis. Welcome to our studio, Sam.
Thank you, Nikki. Very happy to be here. Very, very happy.
It's been a long time coming, man.
It has. It has. But we made it happen.
We did. We sure did. And I cannot leave out my guest co-host, the one and only internationally touring artist, Seth Newton.
What's going on? I'm so happy to be here as well.
Yeah.
Making some new friends. My good friend
Absolutely.
Sam over here now, and
Yeah.
reconnoitering with my good friend Nikki over here. Great job on that intro, helping this guy out here. You came out great.
Thank you.
She's a writer herself. She's
Smooth.
also a singer and writer.
Yeah, sometimes.
Smooth on smooth.
Yeah, if you guys missed the live, what a fun little jam that was, man.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good
Thank
job.
You.
That sounded great. I love it.
I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah.
super
No, I'm
cool.
glad. I'm glad you did a song live for us for sure.
Me too. I was unsure at first. I know when you first asked, I was unsure, but that second ask got me. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I may have rolled my eyes and then said, "All right, let's do it." She's asking for a second time
man.
for a reason.
You got
I was
to.
like, no
Absolutely.
pressure, but
But pressure.
pressure. I'm like, come on,
I
we
needed
gotta hype up your episode somehow.
I needed
Yeah.
it, so I'm glad you gave me the push.
Well, whenever you need a hype lady, I'm here for you. So, I mean, when I first met you, it was back over the summertime. We were at Sammy's patio.
Sammy's patty.
Yeah.
No pun. And I mean,
Yeah, that was not a planned thing. Yeah, it was Sammy's patio out in Revere Beach, which I don't even think is open anymore from what I've been told.
oh wow.
Yeah. Chris and I, we were judging a rap battle there. Our buddy Raph the Ruler was putting that on, and he was like, you guys know music. You should judge this thing. Like, okay. Like, we went there to watch the show, and we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into, which, by the sounds of it, neither did you.
I did not. I was unaware that I was stepping into a contest.
And, you just completely blew Chris and I away. I mean, at first, like, I noticed you were sitting at the bar, like, the whole night, and I just thought you were some patron at the bar, you know, and then they call you up, and I was like, oh, okay, let's see what you got. And you got these white sunglasses on, like the ones behind you in the picture here. And your presence, oh my God. Like, at one point, you, like, pulled out a little megaphone, and you were, like, hopping all around that room, and you were just amazing. And then the sound effects in your songs, too, like, it was just plot twist after plot twist, and you definitely know how to capture a room for sure.
Well, I have nothing. I mean, thank you so much for those kind words. It's. I know I keep saying today as we talk that coming in here, and being considered a real artist by you guys is sometimes in my own life feels like I'm an imposter. But this is really validating, and I couldn't be happier to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you deserve it, man.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Even just from hearing the stuff I've heard, you guys are in for a real treat with this episode for sure.
Yeah.
Great.
So, what got you started creating music?
To be quite honest, it wasn't until I was in my 30s. I've watched my friends over the years, young, even in our 20s, who did music, who were rappers and producers and whatnot, and I just never found a lane in that area of life. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s, I was living in Pepperell with my girlfriend, and we were looking for a TV show to watch. We were Netflixing it or whatever it was on, and the show Dave came across.
I love that show.
I love that show. Yeah.
Right.
Lil Dicky.
Lil
Yeah.
Dicky, and it was like the door opened. It was like, this dude's been doing this successfully, and he's a white guy from suburban Pittsburgh, Jewish with no tattoos, and he's no MGK, and I was like, wow, I was enthralled with his whole story and his whole vibe and his content and his skill level and his ironic behavior in the industry as a whole. And I was like, wow, that is so interesting to me. And it wasn't until, so I saw that episode, or a couple episodes, and was really into it. And my girlfriend, she one day came up from the basement and was like, I have this extra Apple MacBook that I don't want. You can use it. I'm like, that has GarageBand on it, right?
GarageBand. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Serendipitous, man.
Yeah, and it's outdated,
A gift from above.
quote unquote,
Yeah.
or whatever, and this or that. But I didn't know any better, and I went into my other room with it. And my other friend, I started messing around making beats, and I was like, okay, I made some beats, and it transpired and snowballed. All right, how do I get my voice on these? And my friend had a microphone and just like your basic, setup. And long story short, after that, it's just been creating as much music as my brain will channel through the, through the universe. So I don't know if that helps, if that kind of encapsulates it all.
And just like the way that you go about, your delivery and everything, did you always know you had musical talents and abilities? Because,
I always liked acting.
Okay.
I always wanted to be an actor. And I grew up in a time where we didn't have a lot of cheerleaders, you know, in your corner, especially about doing art. It was either, you know, play sports or, you know, go to college and this and that. But I always loved acting and that self-expression through acting. And so I was a communications major. I went to Bridgewater State University and graduated with a communications degree and for media studies and technology. So that's like where I gained a lot of skills in editing and producing and knowing how to edit, you know, audio and all that stuff through like radio production and stuff. So, and then I got into the real world and it was like, find a job, kid.
Yeah.
It's like, good luck.
Okay. I got an intern for like a year. I'm all set. And I got into something I didn't think I'd do for a career. And then that 12 years went by. And it was like, and then that's when I saw that show Dave and that computer came and here we are.
And like, did you like just singing in the car or like around the house? Like you knew you had like some.
Honestly, the singing never was there. I would have loved, so I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I never had singing talent. I can't sing per se. And I never really like got on myself to try to learn how to sing either. I just was like, I don't know how to sing. I'm gonna leave it there.
Your flow though is just like you think you were doing it for years.
That's just endless practice.
Yeah.
That's just endless listening. Because I used to listen to rap, but like now I listen. And when you start writing, then you're like, how did they? And it's just all wordplay. It's just all syllable wordplay, and it's like I love wordplay. That's like one of my favorite pastime puzzles to do is wordplay. You know, so like the writing, you know, is playful, and then it just all the, you know, so you gotta once you start showing social what you like, you start getting feeds for all these artists, what they're doing, how they're doing it, you know, and then you just get just endless inspiration and trying to reinvent your flow and sound. Tone and flow is key. Yeah. You know, but yeah.
That's awesome.
What are some techniques, or whether it's writing or actual execution of your rapping? Because I sing too, but like what you're doing, I'm always fascinated by hip hop artists. I love that. I love one of my good friends, Andy. He's a hip hop artist, and I love when you guys, I think it's the proper terminology, is cut it up. Yeah. When you just start spinning fast and get the rhythms going. I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah. Like to me, that's when it gets all riled up, and I love that. Yeah. So what are like some techniques that or practices you've kind of learned? Or
so, to answer your question, I would say it's sometimes it's not up to me. Sometimes I'm writing and this pace comes along and I'm writing and I'm writing and I'm writing and it just has a flow and it has a rhythm to itself in accordance to the beat that might not even be there yet. And then that's where you can get that like that crazy cadence that, you know, digga 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 ding. And like I said, sometimes I feel like I can't take credit for it because it just comes through and I write, and sometimes I can't get nothing on the page, but sometimes that happens. And as a writer, I'm sure you might know what I'm talking about. Like it's like being in the zone when you're in a game or in a football game or whatever your fancy is. Call of Duty or some shit.
Yeah, it's like a frequency. It's like a space that you tap into.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of artists...
it gives me chills just thinking about it.
It's almost like otherworldly, where you kind of tap into a frequency, right?
And you hear about all that kind of stuff on podcasts and artists who talk about it, but once you indulge creatively in the ways that a songwriter does, a producer does, that's the only way you can know that space exists. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Or whatever art you're doing.
Yeah, I think it goes from what I know of. I mean, Nikki, I'm sure you even kind of tapped into that frequency or space or whatever you'd like to call it.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of artists I know, just it's all almost the same kind of thing, even no matter what the medium is.
Right.
Whether it's painting or
Sure.
poetry or
absolutely
screaming in a metal band.
And it might take time and practice to find it, which actually I can guarantee it will. And then even now after years of doing it and fine tuning my process, you still like, there's still this like unknown about it. You're like, well, is it gonna come again? Like, I want to write a song. I've been wanting to write a song and for like weeks now, and then, you know, shit will happen in your life, and then all of a sudden it will just get thrown up all over your desk. Like, whoa, all right.
Word vomit.
Well, and that's what's exciting about it too. That's what's exciting about art, I think, is you never know when or how it's going to come. Inspiration, perhaps. I
mean, and you can have, what's the word? Discipline, and like stay in that creative space and write. Like, I write so much, but like 10% of what I write gets put out in the world. You should see the books of like.
Well, because what you're doing too is you're writing so many lyrics, and every song is like packed.
Yeah,
there's no room.
Right.
it's in a Tupperware container. It's to the brim. It's like, you're like pushing it down.
Exactly. I'm like trying to find space for the chorus. You know?
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it goes, and it's a great. I'm so glad I found this in my life. It's given me such peace.
Yeah, it's a great outlet for sure.
Absolutely.
And so I know you just put out a song not that long ago, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
I did.
Yeah. How about we get into that, and then we can kind of deep dive in that a little bit.
Yeah, it's a funny, coincidental story of the gentleman I have featured on that song is somebody that you know.
Super coincidental.
Yeah. Nikki. And but to give you more information on how that song got put together, again, was writing, and thought I had a beat for a song, thought I had a concept for a song. And once I started laying it down, it wasn't working, and I completely just started making a new beat, and that decision alone turned into this song. And I had it all laid out, and I was like, it's just missing something. And I've been dying for like another quality local artist with some speed and some talent. And this dude I met he used to actually date my sister, and now I didn't see him for like years after that, went their own ways. And then I saw him again at a music festival, and he was doing a cypher stage. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I ran into you, dude. I've been trying to collab with people, this and that. Fast forward a couple months, working on this song, hit him up. He got back to me. He laid down his track in one take. Like,
I believe it.
Just so freaking talented, this
it.
dude. Not with no fuss either. Just walked in, hey, laid it down. Was like, dude.
Drop the mic.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, I'm like, I wish I could do that. But yeah, and it's one of the songs, and I'm sure you can attest to this, Seth, when you're writing a song, you can have a concept, an idea, and think it's going that way, and then all of a sudden, like, two things happen, or like a word gets said, and you're like, that's the song, that's the concept, here we go.
Yeah,
and
it's like in the films where all the numbers and things.
Yeah,
like A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah,
yes,
you're like, wait a minute.
The Zach Galifianakis, like Blue Beautiful Mind meme or whatever. But yeah, so and that being said, I put in an ad lib, and it was a Clint Eastwood line of like, I think it was the opening line. I was like, oh, good and the bad and the ugly. And then and another weird thing that happens in doing this art, like sometimes I'll have 3 pages of a song and not have a concept, and then the concept lines up with all those 3 pages almost perfectly, and you're just like, okay, like, thanks again, the universe or whatever. So that's kind of, and that's what happened with this one, and same like with what Brendan brought to the table. His name's Brandon B Live Raps.
B Live, yep.
He had this stuff already written down, I guess, and it just meshed with what I had.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
Another
and now we got a great product.
Another situation of serendipitous.
Yes.
Sure.
Circumstances.
Yeah. So how about we? Let's get into it.
You see, in this world, there's 2 kinds of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns, and those who dig. You dig. I've been boiling the alphabet in hopes that I will win. Selling water to aquariums to pay the rent. Have you hitting double play again like country codes of PlayStation? I'm gambling with Abraham. I lost a hand in my van. Now I'm manhandling the Mandarin and playing Candyland. We're jerking off to Mrs. Pamela Anderson. Schizophrenic unapologetic references. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, I'm a 90s kid. Accidentally took some acid, now I'm watching Stranger Things. I'm blasting off with Walker, Texas Rangers, shooting laser beams. Because imagination land is on the way to dopamine. I'm chopping up the silly beat and fry it like a kosher beef.
Buzzing like a bumblebee, honeys wanna get under me, it's cuffing season. It seems I'm stuck between love and lust, what's the reason? It's like when my oxytocin starts flowing, it causes an allergic reaction to the bird that I'm after. It's absurd, however, catalyzes laughter for me. I take the good with the bad, life is lovely when it's ugly. When I'm struggling, I find that I'm actually comfy.
I can't believe I made the roster. Fame and fortune sure gonna cost you. Oh my god, I found myself and it turns out I'm a monster. Losing posture, ready to devour all the thoughts upon you. Oh my god, time to find you in the corner of a business or a basement locker. It's a problem, kinda preposterous. Don't forget that I'm a monster in the closet. Don't forget to lock it. You could find me at the bottom, drinking whiskey, broken bottles, playing games within my conscience. It's a practice and a process, only here to entertain you. Superficial prima donna, cybertronic, suburban, iconic. Flow so cold, I got ice in my tonic. Sign to keep it rolling just like I promised. Open shows just to play chess with the Amish. I can't believe I made the roster. Fame and fortune sure gonna cost you. Oh my god, I found myself and it turns out I'm a monster. Cruising down the street in my daddy's DeLorean. Time travel creep, I'm addicted to porn again. Shuffling my feet while I'm sitting on porcelain. Smoking all my weed at the local emporium. They go my ego, I keep it snapping like Legos. I'm spitting fire like fuego, I'm losing fans like I'm J-Lo. He's out of control and lost his mind, let it go. He's probably out back making men out of snow. A drug addicted kid with a stick up his nose, and a pogo stick prick with the ignorant flow. Matches stacking Pringles, cracking digital codes. Cause he's hacking, jacking, whacking, you can call him Neo.
What an oxymoron, still the hottest to rock the spot, yet possibly more gone than an astronaut blasted off an acid hit. Crash landed, stranded on a comet, had a thought, blabbered it rottenly. Now I'm trapped with an apologies, just pass me the spliff when I'm having a fit. Even if I'm spazzing and tripping, a bit of grass keeps me grinning, flabbergasted, distracted. Puff past sparks, visions tough, pass cut class to experiment with sin. And it's apparent his parents weren't aware of his whereabouts, or just didn't have a care in hell. Either way, I take the good with the bad and the ugly. When life is tragic, I'm in my bag and emphatically comfy.
I can't believe I made the roster. Fame and fortune sure gonna cost you. Oh my god, I found myself and it turns out I'm a monster. Can't believe I made the roster. Fame and fortune sure gonna cost you. Oh my god, I found myself and it turns out I'm a monster.
When you have to shoot, don't talk.
That was awesome. And like, I met B-Liv.
Golf clap.
Yes.
Thank you.
That was awesome. And like, so I met B-Liv at a benefit actually for another local musician friend. And I got to talking and I was like describing you and everything. And he was like, "What's this guy's name?" And like, I was like, "Oh yeah, he goes by Smooth Wrld." He goes, "I know him. I just did a song with him." I was like, "Get the hell out of here!"
So funny.
Small worlds, know. And he's like, "I just did a song with him." And then, spoiler alert, I've heard this song way before it dropped, but I was just like,
Be jealous, everyone.
Yes. But he sent me a text message the next day. I was like, "Oh, it was so nice to meet you. I'd love to hear the song." And he was like, "Don't share this with anybody." I mean, ended up dropping like a week or two later, but like I was like, this is really good. So like, it's
Thank you so much.
Such a small world, and your voices complement each other very well.
Thank you so much on that. I was, before recording, you have an idea of what it might sound like, and you go off that, obviously. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but his cadence, his flow, and tone is just, it complements each other. And he's like, I don't know if you know this artist named Jarv, but he's a well-known artist from Vermont, and he carries a lot of this similar, this aggressive pace that you're like, how is he doing that?
Right.
And I was just drawn to it, so I was like, dude, I got to get you on this beat that I love. So
yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, like, it's I guess no surprise you say that Lil Dicky is kind of your inspiration, what got you into all this, because your style, I feel, is very similar to his in terms of like just how you enunciate words and how like your clear deliverance of it and all that, for sure. And okay, yeah, we go ahead, do your swag. It's the swag too.
No, I have no idea. I mean, it comes from like anybody's,
You're just
brand,
you're so different though. Like in a world of mumble rappers, like think of the commercial with Ludacris with the mouthful of peanut butter. Like you're so different. You set yourself apart in
Thank you
this
so
whole
much.
modern,
That's-
hip hop world here.
Thank you so much. Those are very, very kind words to my craft in it. And it's a tribute to who inspired me. I mean, Little Dicky is a big inspiration into getting me to start trying to do this. But there's so many others too. So many big names. Mac Miller.
Oh yeah, classic.
Your
Legend.
Yeah, those kind of names.
Yeah,
Names
you know what? I hear a lot of Mac Miller too. Now that I think about it, yeah.
His
that style.
His whole. I loved his Tiny Desk stuff.
Yes.
Like, I mean, who doesn't? His fan base is massive, but. And then smaller guys, not smaller guys, but smaller, because he was a pretty small guy, but smaller artists in that sense, like this guy named Prov Gambino, he's a force on stage. I went and saw him at a small venue in Boston last year, and I just cannot wait to see him again. He's playing Red Rocks. He's there now, and he's playing Red Rocks, and he sells out shows all across the country, but a lot of people don't know him.
Right.
But he's a rapper who, similar in my demographic, he's from the Midwest, a white dude, just, he had a tougher, younger life, but he's got this aura on stage, and he's a performer. Like, he performs. He's not a rapper per se. He's a performer. And that's what I emulate. When I want to be on stage, I want to be considered that was an amazing performance, not
right.
Oh, he had some good bars like that kid
Right.
could write or whatever. I want that level of inspiration came from him for sure.
Not even so much performance, like entertainer as well.
Hey,
Yeah.
Smooth Wrld entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that deliverance, like I cannot express enough how you went from just a dude sitting at the bar to just owning that whole freaking room. Like, big white sunglasses, whips out a megaphone out of his back pocket, and is just, you could not sit still. And honestly, like, again, plot twist, I never saw that coming. So, like, Seth, talking off stage or off camera, the way that you delivered that.
Yeah, well, I know that we tried to make sure we got all the juicy bits.
I know.
We're like, quick, turn the
Turn
camera
this off.
What are we doing? We're talking without the camera still. I was saying that it seems like you've got a fun little formula going, which is working, seems like, for you, because like you were saying, Nikki, you were this unassuming guy at the bar, and then all of a sudden, boom, you exploded. And so that's fantastic. I got to come out and see you at a show sometime for sure.
Oh man, thank you, and absolutely, yeah. Like, and that everybody needs and craves continuity in their life, like whether it's in a story, whether it's in their life day to day. Like, nobody likes mundane, the same thing over and over again. And in a performance, I owe a lot of that pull from this dude Prov. I mean, again, I went to, I have like an acting per se background for a little bit when I was in college and this and that, and very theatrical. And my girlfriend likes to call it drama, but I call it theater. And he brings that to the table too. His dad was like a preacher or some shit. So like he gets a lot of his, swagger or whatever you want to call it from that kind of, like, we all pull from different things in life. And it's very cool that you guys are asking me questions about this kind of thing. I mean, must be doing something right, I guess.
I love
no, it's sorry. Go ahead, Nikki.
I mean, it's, we're all old enough in this room, and VH1's behind the music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, on Raf's episode, we were talking about pop-up video.
Yeah. Oh my Classic.
Pop-up
What's
video.
that? Just kidding. I'm old.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah, so deep diving behind the music, like that's what it's all about. Getting to know not just like, hey, let's get your music out into the world, but like let's get to know the artist behind that.
Yeah, and that's what builds brands. It's what builds artists. It's like,
Yeah.
You're
still a person.
Yeah, and that goes along with that brand nowadays. I mean, look at any major artist in the world. It's like look at maybe a bad example, but look at Kanye West. You know what I mean? It's like it's a fine line, you know. It's a fine line of showing your true colors to the world.
Yeah.
And
Seth is a world traveler. I mean, like, look at let's see you giggling over here.
There's so much going on in my mind right now, like all the things we're just talking about. Yeah, sorry,
Right.
sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Oh yeah, no. I was gonna say. I mean, in some ways, I think it's good because I want to know, like, and then it goes into that whole like idea that's really prevalent now. I think more than any other generation has ever really delved into it, where we're starting to. Maybe it's because of the internet. Maybe it's because I guess the times, but we're starting to know artists generally more than we've ever known them.
more than we need to know.
Oh yeah, well in some cases it's
Don't
like,
meet your heroes.
yeah.
It's like,
Well, but at the same time it's like I guess I'd rather know, like
yeah, right. Than
the
think
scary
they're-
stuff
than-
about them. Then
Yeah, with everything in lieu in the music and entertainment industry right now, yeah, it's like sometimes it's less is more, but it's just what I'm trying. I guess my point is, my music and my performances have brought me here, and that's like to be like some of my closest friends don't ask me where I get this inspiration from. You know what I mean? This is really, really great for me. Like, and any artist, Chris. I mean. Seth, sorry, I called you Chris.
oh, Chris is much more handsome, but thank you for the compliment.
And Seth, and I'm sure
That's for you, Chris.
There you go, buddy. We miss you, buddy.
Yeah, miss you.
But I'm sure you can attest. I'm losing my train of thought. But as an artist, it's
I mean, he sat in that seat once.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the hot seat, man.
Yeah, and just trying to get exposed, just trying to get who you are out there, so maybe more people. You're not pigeonholed to the people that you grew up with and like, oh, that's Sam Lovell. That's not the rapper. That's not Smooth Wrld. He played football and was kind of a jerk in high school. What I mean?
So funny.
and you
Oh, well,
can't
there's
get
just
that.
more.
You
There's
can't
more
break
to
out.
you. There's more
Right.
to you than this. Is a whole other
Right.
part of you
Mhm.
that you're finally getting to explore, and that's
Right.
fantastic for you, man.
Exactly, and it's great. It's having this musical outlet is allowing people to see me in a different light.
And see yourself in different light.
Oh, and it's
Yeah,
a huge
of
help.
course.
Huge help in finding myself. In the last 5 years of doing this, or sorry, even less than that, like 4 years of doing this, really releasing music and promoting and marketing myself, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to step in front of your phone and do those things constantly, not constantly, but creatively, consecutively, and still
Exposing
believing
yourself.
yourself and still believing in, this is fun enough where I don't care what people think, and I'm going to put it out there, and you get the love, if you're putting that true self forward, I think it comes back.
Yeah, I think it's easy for people to be so critical these days, of course, more than ever. But at the same time, I think that you see if you're being genuine or if you're really giving yourself, you see like you're saying, see the love come back to you in a
Right,
way. So,
totally.
yeah, for sure.
And
Good,
not only
man.
that, like, even I love going to shows and afterwards the artists just hang out at their merch table.
Yeah.
And they'll shoot the shit with you. And like they'll reply back to comments on social media and like that's I think what people really look for also. It's just that genuine, humble, hey, they still put their pants on one leg at a time, like
Absolutely.
and that's what I like to really showcase too on this show is the fact that like, yeah, that their music's great. They're going places in the world, but still just a normal person like us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this area is just so talented. It's insane.
It does. It's a hotbed for this area. It's very competitive in anything you're doing. Like, it's a hustle and bustle, New England, Boston, tri-state area. If
you're moving
it's
too
like,
slow, get out of the way.
Fuck out. Sorry, get the hell out of my way.
You can swear here.
You can swear, buddy.
Get the fuck out of my way. I'm from Boston.
There you
all right?
go. There you go.
It's like, Jesus.
But at the same respect too, like it's yes competitive, but everyone also hypes one another up and is so just everyone's there for one another too, as I've noticed.
Yeah, I think in this time and that we're living in, we're a much more uplifting community as a whole than years prior, I think. And like especially my generation, Seth, I don't know, your generation, there, like, again, I think I said it when I walked in and we were talking about stuff, and there wasn't many cheerleaders in the corner in those years for, oh, you're making music, man, that is a wonderful thing. Like, go after that. It was, dude,
Get a job.
What the hell are you
get
doing?
a job or get an education. And then it was like, oh, we found out through freaking social media and the internet that it's all a scam. You know.
What do you mean? Hold on.
Smoke and mirrors, dog and pony show. Yeah.
I mean, our generation got blindsided. With that, but I digress.
I know, right? That's a whole other show.
So, when I first met you again, I'm keep going back to that one night, and I remember just your set list, and it was awesome the way that it flowed and everything. I think the first song that's the thing, you walked in and I'm like, what songs you're doing? You did this song and that song and this song, and I literally rattled off all the songs that you did. Like, I became a fan.
Yeah.
I think the first one that you started off with though was what, NPC?
I started off with Bounce.
Bounce, that was it. Okay.
Yeah, it was. I like this. I like to start off with that song. It's very bouncy. It kind of gets me moving. Although it's a harder song for me to perform, but I like to do it first because it gives the energy.
Yeah.
Like right away.
Yep. How about we get into that and
Sure. Yeah. Let's give it a listen.
Let's give it a listen.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
I'm home alone with Sylvester Stallone. Running out of cream, put some ice in my cone. With a cherry on top, you can throw me a bone. Please call me Travis Kelce, yeah, I'm swift in the zone.
He runs to the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
Even Darth Vader can't contain the level of my bounce. Get the party jumping, have my house up off the ground. I'm fucking basement wasted, puking faces, picking dogs up out the pound. Snoring laces, tending ragers, bouncing to the sound. Take a look around, be aware of your surroundings. My accountability is held by my accountant. Bouncing over houses and Superman super clowning. Like a funny flounder drowning, losing all allowance. Like a baby crowning, call me Dracula, but who was counting? Cause I've been sleeping on sativa, listening to Bieber. Still an unbeliever, just a pussy ass peeper. Rolling through them highs in my marquee beater. Looking for that prize like a full-fledged creeper. Giving me them eyes cause my bounce is off the meter. I eat you well in stride, I don't need no fucking feature. I'm bouncing like I'm counting sheep, I'm trying to sleep. I took too many fucking uppers, man, I'm grinding my teeth. I thought I told you not to put any more mushrooms in my tea. I keep it crack-a-lackin' with the content, call me Mr. Beast. And I pity the fool who always lost between the sheets. I'm Rocky Balboa, bitch, you fucking Mr. T. Broken whiskey bottles will be burning down saloons. My brain is disconnected and my thoughts are on the loose. While taking acid, stealing tanks and huffing on balloons. I'm losing all my motor skills, I feel like I'm a tone. Cause my system bounces like an ounce of magic shrooms. And you can taste the color of my laughter while we on the moon. Levitation is my superpower, ain't a ceiling I can hit. Cause I've been binging on the silly shit for hours, I don't give a shit. I like my beat so full and frothy, you can taste it tipping. If you think my words are sour, you can call me Pickle Rick. Cause I've been sleeping on sativa, listening to Bieber. Still an unbeliever, just a pussy ass peeper. Rolling through them highs in my marquee beater. Looking for that prize like a full-fledged creeper. Giving me them eyes cause my bounce is off the meter. I eat you well in stride, I don't need no fucking feature. My bounce is so contagious, it lifted me from the matrix. Making love upon a spaceship, friction turns to inspiration. Coming up below the basement, psychic spots from trying to steal your mind's elation. And little girls from Sweden dreams a silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication.
All steps for man. One fire please.
Awesome. Love the track so far. Having a blast.
Thanks, man.
Now, for that song specifically, was that the one that live you pulled out of my? Okay, because I heard it in the chorus. I was like, oh, this.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a megaphone sound, but I didn't know if it was like recreated in the studio or did you use an actual megaphone or?
I actually just used a an effect
Yeah.
on my voice.
It sounds authentic. It sounds
thanks.
like, yeah.
Thank you.
And then live, you do pull out a megaphone for that.
So it's actually, I do pull out a megaphone.
Yeah, he does.
She's like, yes.
And I think I actually had the megaphone on at the performance I did.
I don't
for
even
you
know
guys.
where that came from. Like, where did you pull that out of? You had that
Where'd
strategically.
you hide that?
He had it strategically placed somewhere.
It was actually right in front of everybody. It was on like a bar,
Like a
I see.
table,
a
yeah.
high top, and I just walked up into the crowd and grabbed it. So it was
perfect.
like no one was looking. It wasn't behind me or nothing, so like nobody could see it.
Wait, how long was it sitting there that night? Because, like, I don't
know.
remember anybody placing it there.
I know I was goofing around with it for a while, so it might have been there.
Nobody messed with it.
Only for
That's
a
hilarious.
maybe like a little bit before I did my performance, and then I was using it to chant for other artists.
Yes,
cool.
that's right.
That's brilliant. That's kind of your stage acting there.
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
You had a prop that no one expected you to use, and all of a sudden, boom, megaphone.
Yeah, it really went over well. I mean, Raph still brings it up. Like,
Clearly, I do too.
Well, no, it's fun. I've seen it only a handful of times with artists live, and it's always a fun little surprise. Something like that's always, it stands out in people's minds. It's a cool sound. It's
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime you bring something that isn't normally seen at a rap show, my face being one of them behind a mic, you get that you get that response, I guess. You get that like, whoa, that rope-a-dope. Wait a minute, I didn't expect that.
now. Sorry, Nikki, go ahead.
No, say that was me.
Yeah. She's like, I didn't expect it. It was me.
Right.
Like I said, I was like, first of all, okay, go off. And then it was, whoa, where did that megaphone come from? And then, like, the way that you carry yourself, and, like, you got this, like, walk that you do, and you're, like, bouncing, and stuff. And, yeah, then the next thing you hear, like, the random little ad-lib sound effects in there, and you're like, whoa, another thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, that's me. You got me.
Good.
I got the whole
Nice.
show there.
Full effect. She
Full
felt the
effect.
full effect.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm cheesing over here.
Now for that chorus too, I couldn't make out all the words, but was your decision to use the megaphone effect or a megaphone in live for that chorus drawn from the lyrics, or just the sound, the vibe you wanted to bring to it all of a sudden, or what was the reason for you that kind of was the eureka moment to like, I want to use a megaphone for that?
That's a good question. I remember I explained earlier that sometimes this process that happens, I don't know exactly where it came from. I think it was just, let me try this effect. And I was like, that brings a level of continuity to the whole song. And then the microphone didn't come in until I was practicing for it live. And my son was just messing around with it. And I was like, stop it. Give me that or something, And I was like, oh, I have this. Does it work? And I threw some batteries in it, and it worked. And I was like, dude, I'm going to use this at the festival.
Thanks, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then boom,
More
it was like,
serendipity for you, man.
yeah, exactly. It's just serendipity.
It's those little tokens, the little gifts. Yeah.
If you know how to find them, you know how to look, you spot them. They're everywhere, no matter what you're doing in life.
That's cool. Very cool. Do you have a question? If not, I'm going to jump right into another one. Okay. She's like, I have a gummy in my mouth right now. Not a psychedelic gummy, just a disclaimer of that.
I have a Welch's fruit snack
Yeah,
in
yeah,
my mouth.
yeah.
So y'all can't
Nothing
hear
but
me
the best.
chewing on the microphone.
And we'll be right back after these brief messages.
In 2025, be on the lookout for Derek D. Acoustic's upcoming album, Ashes to Acoustics, The Sonic Revival. Throughout the year, Derek will be releasing several singles, leading up to the full album release, which will include a few extra tunes just for you. Ashes to Acoustics features live acoustic covers performed at open mics at the Otter River Pub, recorded by Soundbites events and open mics. You'll find them on all streaming platforms, so make sure you follow Derek at Derek D. Acoustic to stay updated on these releases. Enjoy Ashes to Acoustics, The Sonic Revival in 2025 and beyond.
And now back to our show.
I was just curious, what are some musical influences that that you have that someone might be surprised about, like maybe not hip hop artists, or is there? I mean, unless it's just all hip hop.
Absolutely. I actually, I grew up I was a kid in the 90s. I was born in 88. And it was either you were a rock fan or you were a rap fan. That's kind of what it was. It's like either the baggy pants or this, or the spiked hair, the chains, this or that. And I liked both. And then all of a sudden bands like Linkin Park came out and this and that. But I never was a true, I loved Eminem growing up, listened to his records over and over and over again, like most suburban white kids. But I never had a lane in the rap scene. I also, my favorite type of music would probably be more in line with like the jazzy blues.
Oh, wow.
With like jam type bands. Like I used to go to a lot of music festivals where it was only jam bands and a lot less hip hop, a lot less electronic sounds. But I used to kind of seek those guys out at festivals because you still had the loopers and stuff like Keller Williams. I love Keller Williams. Another.
You know Mark Riblet, Loop Daddy? He goes by Loop Daddy?
I might know his content probably. Yeah. Another guy, Zach Deputy.
I love Zach Deputy.
He is a kind of like a fallen artist almost right now, but he still is out and about doing tours, I'm sure. So yeah, I had a freaking picture of Johnny Cash in my locker in high school, like
Nice.
So the spectrum's pretty wide in that sense. Guys like Johnny Cash and guys like that folk singer. They just made a movie about him with Bob Dylan.
Oh,
Dylan,
yeah.
And like old timers like that, and guys like the guy he got caught smoking crack. That really narrows it down.
Unfortunately, it doesn't narrow it down, actually. I'm like, no, don't know.
Very hyper, always sweating, dancing around like a crazy man.
Oh, boy.
He's
smoking crack. I'm going to do the bingo here. Smoking crack, dancing around,
I mean,
sweaty.
This was not on my bingo card.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to get the name there. No, I don't know.
Hum a tune. Or like...
Yeah.
Shit, I really put myself in the spot here.
That's all right. Yeah, whatever. Well, if
had
you think
a
of it,
funny hairdo, but I guess the point of what I'm trying to say is, I like anybody who carved out, a massive indifference in the industry, from Kurt Cobain to Johnny Cash to, Ray Charles to all the greats, but. I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Yeah, I mean,
went off there.
when you actually said blues artists, that was surprising to me. Just because when you're a specific genre, generally, for any artist, it's fun to know what some of the farther-reaching inspirations they have.
Absolutely.
So kind of getting like a parameter, like, oh wow, he likes blues and he's doing hip hop, cool. And so you're where you're pulling from. It's just cool to know that for any artist. Yeah.
No, totally. I love that question. If it's asked, I mean, it's literally might be the first time it's been asked to me. So it's a wide range. And my closest friends are talented too. I have a lot of talented close friends, like musically, friends that play bass and guitar and play piano and drum. And again, I was like, what can I do over the years? And what can I do? And I used to beatbox and I used to have the drum pad, but I could never get into, I got a guitar, but never found it until it was this overwhelming charge after that first song I, put together on GarageBand. So, and then when that started to happen too, it's my closest friends are like, what are you doing?
They're like, what was that?
Yeah, this isn't.
You did that?
You're not a rapper, dude. And then now the
joke's on them.
Yeah, it took a while, but I got their support now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, joke really is on them, because when you won that contest that night, I met you. I mean, you got to perform for Terminology, which people that don't know, he is one of the radio personalities on the Shade 45 Sirius XM station. Like, he's a pretty big deal. And there were members of Wu-Tang there that night. Like,
it's a special night.
Yeah, that's a huge night.
Yeah, that was a very, very fun night. I wish I could have slowed it down all of that whole night, because I literally I did that show for RAF 1, and then it was like, what, 2 months later, I think the Terminology show was.
Well, so, okay, let's back it up for a minute. So that night, there was a contest going on, which Chris and I didn't know we were judging until we got there, and you didn't know was a contest until after you did your thing, and holy shit, you won. And yeah, that was the prize, was to open up for Terminology, and there might have been like cash involved or something too, I think.
Yeah, I won like $200 or something, $300.
Yeah.
It was sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for not even knowing what you're like, I was just going.
I drove down there for free. You know?
Yeah.
I actually wasn't even on the bill.
I just
So
showed up.
So just to give a little more context for the folks, that was your prize from that night, was to be able to perform in front of these big deals, you know.
Yeah.
So
and I don't know, like it was like I said, I wish I could have slowed it down, the moments I had with Term, and being able to converse with him, and like realizing that I wish I could have slowed it down for reasons of like knowing the same people he knew and he's worked with and I've worked with, just to be like bridge that gap of, I'm not just some guy being like, dude, I'm this guy, like, you know, like, and because the dude who masters my tracks, shout out to Chaz King and Stupid Genius Studios out of Lawrence and LA. Great studio. They got the professional. These dudes are awesome, and they've worked with dudes from MGK to frickin' Bia Bia. Like, they're really in the shit. And
it sounds amazing. All your stuff sounds fantastic.
Thank you. And it's, you know, I've learned so much from this dude Chaz, who used to reproduce all my songs, but now just masters them, because of what I've learned from him. Anyway, he knows Term, and I didn't realize that until after that night.
The world's a small place.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I brought that up, he would have been like, oh, you know Chaz, what's up, man? Like, granted, we were having chopping it up, and we were having a good chat, and got like some good pictures and whatnot. But it was a great experience. Got to see him perform. Got to be, face to face with him as he's rapping his songs.
So cool.
Dude's got songs with Mac Miller.
Yeah.
Dude's been in the game for like 25, 30 plus years. He's from here. It was a great experience for me personally, and for my career, if you want to call that this or whatever, you know.
Yeah, it is a career. You're getting out there.
Thanks.
You're getting out there. You're doing the damn thing. For sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
Just making sure I'm not getting in your way. Okay.
No.
And I'm almost not doing any of the questions we talked about.
And honestly, it's a successful episode, I personally think, if it's more of just shooting the shit with a friend.
Well, just making
versus very robotic.
Well, I've only been on the outside of I've been where you are, watching these guys do their magic, which I'm gonna shout you guys out again. Because,
big shout out.
Yeah, so I haven't been the person to interview people very often, but
no, I prefer it not to be so robotic sounding with like question for question. So this is what you got?
Question I had for you is, so you make a lot of your beats and background tracks and everything.
Yep. Yeah, I do use samples a lot of the time, but I do contort, and like funk with almost every sample that's in any one of my songs. So it's not like I'm just dragging and dropping. I'm looking for something or feel or whatever. But when it comes to like the technical stuff, like getting my levels right, and like I go all by ear, and that's, I mean, Chaz he's like, man, like you're on it, dude. Like, you're right there, like with just by my ear. So I get that extra leg up by knowing him and having him, juice up my stuff when he masters it and brings my vocals up. And we kind of have a system where like I give him my stems, and like if I want him to mess with a particular, like if it's the bass or the whatever, the snare or whatever, like I can separate that for him. So we have like a good system going on where it's not just like, oh, that's not really what I was looking for, but he did it, and we're at this finished product now, and I don't have money to go back, and I don't want to go back. It's a more clean, precise. I don't pay as much. I'm not sitting in the freaking studio for hours. So yeah, I wish I could take all the credit for how good it sounds. Creatively, I can.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But-
sorry, go ahead, finish.
No, it's just, but level wise and like I said, he polishes that. Like he's like he fine tunes it.
Yeah, he's a producer. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but I just wanted to highlight that because for people that aren't that familiar with music in general or how it's created or hip hop, especially perhaps maybe some people that aren't familiar with the process of that, it's a lot. There's a lot more to it than just someone coming up and throwing some words over a song.
Absolutely.
Like you're sitting there, it's intensive. You're finding the stuff you like to hear, your beats, you're kind of like you said, contorting it, crafting it. You know, it's not like as simple as some people kind of throw it under the bus as.
Absolutely. If you were to sit next to me for like a whole, and I'm like, I can be aggressive and like 5 hours will go by if I'm like onto something. And my girl can attest, and God bless her soul, because, you know.
Patience,
the
yeah.
amount-
Shout out to her.
Shout out to
actually.
the girls.
Shout out to
Shout
Emily
out to
Cannons.
anyone that supports the artists in their process, because
Yes.
Yeah.
boy, oh boy.
She's my baby mama, and we love her very much.
There you go.
And without her, honestly, I wouldn't have gotten that computer.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know, these little moments. But, yeah, there's a ton that goes into it. And when I know I'm onto something, it's almost like it can stress me out because I'm, like, looking for the time. And last night, being in this creative space, the stars just aligned, and I was able to lay down all these tracks that I was trying to for, like, a little while. And my kid was being babysat by my mother, and my girl was working, so I had like extended time for the first time in months. And yeah, like I said, the stars aligned. I don't know if I got a bit away from your question or not, but
No, I think that's great. So you're very much a playable character now in your life.
I like to think so. I really do. I think
Speaking of,
Right
Yeah,
now,
it's
he's
so
in his
funny.
creative fire.
it's so
Right?
funny.
He's activated.
I would say before I met Emily, I was very much an NPC. Very
Which-
much.
And
You
can you clarify
just
what
going-
NPC even is for
just
people that
going-
might not know?
Just going through the world, getting bumped around, doing what you think you're fucking supposed to do, and just going through the fucking motions. Like, oh,
bumbling around.
yeah, I better not upset anybody with what I'm doing.
Yeah, saying the same shit, the boring shit. That
Right.
Yeah.
And
Not
then
making any waves.
The
yeah, and
mundane, the wah wah
Yeah.
wah wah.
I was going to the same parties, doing the same shit, you know, being in the same headspace. And this music stuff is just
Open it up.
opened up. I mean, my life too, just like in other like areas of my life have just, and I know it's in a test to the music. It's because I have this space, this creative outlet to express myself. Where before I was just, who am I almost? What do I, you know?
Right.
Um,
Speaking of NPC, you got a song called that.
oh, fancy
Segue.
that.
Fancy that. Funny how that worked. Yeah, how about we let's give that a listen.
Let's.
Yeah, and dive into that after.
See, that's what you never got, kid. It's not about the money. It's about the game. The game between people. And that's all it is. Drop 2 pills, red, blue, you know the drill. I went and woke up, dirty dozen in Cypress Hill. I threw down my button up, I'm cleaning my grill. A donut in my cup, yeah, I'm getting my fill. My syllables are like a Jedi mind trick. Have your pineal glands clipped, doing side flips like a sidekick. Paid the extra money, I'm a flight risk. All the typist, so you can read the fine print. Where's the lamp in here? I need the light. Marlon Wayans is a white chick. Can't afford the price, bitch, on the night shift. Every night, Luke Kane gotta fight this. Bicycle kicks left and right, it's a crisis.
Precisely, just do it like I'm Nike. Fight me like I'm Mikey. Tiger lost his wifey, making it
get big, starting to look a little bit unlikely. I know Kung Fu.
I lost control of my entire body.
NPC to a master of karate. Breaking free, stepping out this porta potty. Keanu Reeves found me doing kicks through the lobby. Cause I lost control of my entire body. NPC to a master of karate. Breaking free, stepping out this porta potty. Keanu Reeves found me doing kicks through the lobby. I'm an algorithmic, authenticious, alchemistic, anti-villain, superhero business, throwing fists when Ralph can't fix it. Want a secret mission? I'm sending provisions, defending the living and bending the limits, pretending I'm giving, ascending, and building a future for children. I'm playing Donkey Kong on a Jumbotron, with only socks, wearing long johns, and a pistol drawn. But don't worry, it's only a cap gun. No facts, only caps in this rap song. Shit's a passion, getting traction, standing in your back lawn, trespassing as I scratch and I yawn.
I lost control of my entire body.
NPC to a master of karate. Breaking free, stepping out this porta potty. Keanu Reeves found me doing kicks through the lobby. Cause I lost control of my entire body. NPC to a master of karate. Breaking free, stepping out this porta potty. Keanu Reeves found me doing kicks through the lobby. I be murdering paper like I'm a lumberjack. No cap, word a wizard, you can call me Cumberbatch. I might be talking out my ass cause Batman got a batarang, clap, time travel flash.
Stickers with the mask, go without the dash. Bandicoot without the crash, scratching on his sack.
Rolling off the tongue, yeah, like it's never been done before. Cause I'm hitting all my free throws on the run like Dumbledore. Yeah, 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 similar to Odin's son, Thor, carry Thunder Force. You can call me Nicolas Cage, I stole your Eleanor. I'm Kratos with the rage, I go electric form. Friends with Ellen Page, I will go metamorph. On my heliboard, Silver Surf transform into a Megazord.
I lost control of my entire body.
NPC to a master of karate. Breaking free, stepping out this porta potty. Keanu Reeves found me doing kicks through the lobby. Cause I lost control of my entire body. NPC to a master of karate. Breaking free, stepping out this porta potty. Keanu Reeves found me doing kicks through the lobby.
So I actually introduced my nephew, who was 17 at the time, to that song. And he loves it, by the way. He got his first truck, and he was like, Auntie, the system bumps. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I got some songs for you to listen to. And I put that song on. He's like, yup, nailed it. This bumps. And I'm like, yeah, I know him. He's like, what? You know him? You're that cool? I'm like, yeah, sometimes I'm kind of cool kid, you know, and then now he listens to all of your music. So yeah, you have a 17, now 18-year-old, you know, listener. Super fan.
That is so validating to whatever this is that I've been doing. That is just the coolest thing to know that a kid of that demographic is into the music that I'm making. There's plenty of pop culture in it, and I know kids these days love the 90s. So if you do a deep dive into that song, there's plenty of Easter eggs.
And he is wise beyond his years too. Like, he was probably 12, 13, and he was singing Korn and Rob Zombie, and like his first concert, I got him tickets to see Korn. Like, he is such an old soul where it comes to all the 90s rock and all that. So, yeah, when he started hearing this stuff, he was like, I get this. I like this, and it bumps.
Makes me feel old, calling Korn old music.
It's pretty much probably going to be considered classic rock at some point.
Oh, yeah, it probably already is.
But, I mean, the 70s.
For me and you, Seth, I don't know, but that was our child, Korn. And stuff
yeah. Well, I think the rule is for airplay, I believe it's anything 30 years prior.
The 70s were still 30 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So I was ruminating on this idea before, because I was like, why is it classic rock is different to everybody? Of course, generational. But I feel like I think of classic rock just meaning actually like the origins, kind of like, you know, like
Sure.
when rock and roll,
The roots.
really
The
kind of
Beatles.
went wild. And well, I mean, yeah, even I guess even I was gonna say that could be interpreted different ways.
Right,
Because some
very
people be
true.
like, "Whoa,
That's not rock and
Elvis,"
roll.
or the people obviously predating him,
Right.
where he got his stuff from.
No.
But then also, you know, I think Led Zeppelin and stuff, Sabbath, and
Those are the guys. Those are the
Yeah.
bands that come into my mind too. When you say classic rock, it's funny. It's just a generational thing. It's like
Yeah.
and when our parents, same thing. They don't think of, you know.
yeah, we're not old.
Korn's classical. You know that, right?
Korn is now like to my dad's Black Sabbath. You
Right.
know?
Yeah. You know, and to their own right too.
Yeah.
They deserve to be at that level now for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
We're going to
gosh,
be seeing them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for them. And who was my favorite of that same genre and generation?
Limp
Limp
Bizkit.
Bizkit.
I don't know how I knew that. I was just like Limp Bizkit.
Dude, Fred Durst is killing it now. Still, he's doing shows like everywhere.
They're touring still. Yeah,
dressed as an old man.
Oh my God!
Fucking awesome.
I saw a picture of him. I think it was even last night, and it almost reminded me of Dale from Step Brothers. He had like this big, crazy, curly fro going on. And I'm like, no, this is Fred Dust Bunny.
Yeah, he's leaned into like the old man thing, coming out with like a jump, what we used to call him, a windsuit. You know, like
windbreakers.
Windbreakers, yeah.
The swish pants.
Yeah, I used to love those things.
That's
when I was
so
a
funny.
kid.
The tracksuits.
The tracksuits.
I always thought he was bald because he always had that red cap on, and then he comes out with this big old head of hair, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you got the full beard now and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it's cool.
What are some dreams, aspirations you have for this? Like, how whether how serious you take it or not is something else. But maybe what's a dream? If there was like a tour or like a certain producer or something, or like a venue that you'd love to play, or what would be a dream come true besides maybe anything that's already happened? Like,
It's funny. Every time I say something like this, it kind of gets put out into the universe and brought back. So like, I'll be careful with how I say it or what I say. I want to open up for a real name. I want to open up for somebody. I want to open up for somebody that allows me to perform in front of, bigger crowds. That's what anybody really wants, right? But to put that in perspective, like, I remember saying to my girlfriend, I just want to inspire somebody. My music can inspire somebody, I did it. I won. I beat the game. Like, and that happened. I did a performance and, was in the high of that performance after. And another artist came up to me after and pulled me aside, pulled me away from my friend groups, and were like, he like just was like eye to eye, like, dude, that was really great. Like, I was so different. Just praising me. And then he finished by saying, that was the most inspiring set I've seen all weekend. And I was just like, goosebumps, like, that's it. Like, So as far as my biggest dreams and aspirations, the next thing is to work with, I just want to work with great people. I want to work with great people and, that push my talents too, and that's why I work with this kid, Brendan, because he pushes my talents and, allows me to see what my talents are too. Like, a lot more goes into the producing than people think, like you said. And, I hope that process allows me to, step forward and get in front of bigger crowds. That's really the biggest thing I want for. And I do take it seriously. It's easy not to. It's easy to be like, oh, like, I don't have anything lined up. Like, I don't have a new song coming out. Haven't done any content in a while. But like, having those kind of questions in the front of your mind, like, they bring that the universe hears you. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And you can attest to it, right, Seth? I mean, you said earlier.
Yeah.
You literally manifested your European tour here last year.
Yeah. In case people don't know, or artists that haven't been on the show yet, this is the Room of Dreams here.
Oh.
This is the manifestation monastery.
If you can see,
as you will.
The manifestation station.
Manifestation station.
Oh, thank
yeah,
you.
No, this is, so if you want your dreams to come true, you got to come on the show with Nikki and Chris. How about that?
You're gonna make me cry. Stop it,
Well,
Seth.
no, because
Goosebumps, people.
like
Love
we were
you.
saying,
Thank
I was on the show last year, and they asked me that similar question of,
Dream venue.
Yeah, dream venue or dream. Yeah, and I was like, oh, Red Rocks would be cool and stuff. But then I was like, I'd love to play overseas. I was like, I played all over the country, but I'd love to play overseas. And Iceland was one of the things I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of ended up happening, and then I went further. And so yes, we're gonna put that good juju out there for
absolutely,
you. Get all the good vibes and good energy out there for you.
But yeah,
All I can think of right now is Wayne's World. I'm like,
there's sparkles in the air. You can't catch them on the camera,
right?
Because they're magic. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, this has been so much fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're just about nearing the end here, but where can the folks find you on the socials and all the streaming and everything?
All my music is, I think I said earlier, it's everywhere. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all that easy accessible stuff. And then you can obviously find my content, my short-term content on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. My hook on Instagram is smooth_WRLD_entertainment. I know it's a bit much, but it shouldn't take much to find. But it's everything. If you go to my Instagram, everything's there. I have a link tree, all that good stuff. Hey, quiet down out there.
You rascals.
But yeah, easy to find. And if you want my phone number, I can give it now. I'm just kidding.
Social security, please.
Mother's maiden name. Social bank account information. What street did you grow up on? And Seth, thank you so much for filling in today for Chris. This has been so much fun. You were a natural at this.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Seth.
Yeah, it's
chop it up with you, man.
Sam and I's first time meeting. Nikki and I obviously are great friends because of the show.
Yes.
I know. I hope I get to come back on this show, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'd love to have you come back, and
meet
when
another
Chris
artist.
is here, and
yeah.
Actually, you should just come back with Belive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a new song, that new song I'm telling you about. We're gonna release together.
Yeah.
And once that's out in the world, that'd be awesome.
Oh my God, yeah, have a couple of songs together and have you guys on here, and that'd be great. And get him more exposure too.
Absolutely.
He does not get the credit that he deserves.
He's
amazing.
He's a what would you call it? A unsung hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super talented. Just hasn't I want to give him that light.
Yeah.
Dude, put the light over there.
Yeah.
Well, there's this guy. Hey, everybody.
Yeah. And that's what this show is all about. Just really shining the spotlight on our local musicians. So.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. No, let's do it. We'll get you back in here for sure.
Dope.
So. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This has been another episode of the Musical Chairs in Massachusetts. We're going to go do our traditions now of signing the people's poll and taking our selfie. Peace, everyone.
Oh my God! That thing I thought was going to happen happened.